Christians are fucking idiots. Don't you hate that generalization? Atheists are arrogant assholes, and that's the one I really dislike. But, everybody's got to throw stones and sticks and make a big deal about the other half, the other side, the other people being wrong and being mean and ugly and stupid and arrogant and just, they're bad people because they're other side. That, unfortunately, is human nature. Now, we use generalizations because, well, we have something to say. And we have something to say to particular people. And when we say things, we target in on those people. But it's very difficult looking at the world and putting a message out there into the world, targeting a very narrow group of people. There's a lot of other people who are going to see this message and they're going to think that's aimed at them, and they're going to get offended and think, why do you think all Christians are, jerks? It's like, well, I don't think all Christians are jerks. I think some Christians are jerks. And of course, I think some atheists are jerks, and some Muslims and some Jews and some Hindus and some Scientologists. I mean, everybody's got some jerks. Everybody's got some assholes, and everybody's got some arrogant people that, But hey, I'm Tom, your friendly neighborhood atheist. I'm not an arrogant asshole. Am I? I hope not, but I try not to be. I really do. But I get frustrated with people who are very dead set. They've got a very, very narrow point of view. Like with evolution. Evolution is this huge thing. It's like, evolution is wrong! It's wrong! It's wrong! It's wrong! It's just wrong! It's stupid! It's stupid wrong! It's like, really? Your choices, creation, poof, magic, everything's, or evolution. And like, Darwin was wrong, Darwin's, he's the devil, Darwin was wrong. It's like, you don't realize that the idea of evolution has been around for literally thousands of years. The Greeks and the Romans were thinking about evolution. Darwin, he focused on the idea of evolution through natural selection. And he's not even the first one who came up with this idea. It wasn't, he's the one who really pinpointed, who really, tied it down, who got it, buttoned down and got it good. But a lot of other people had this idea. In fact, when Darwin wrote his book, Origin of the Species, a lot of other people were like, oh no, that was my idea. You're stealing my idea. And later he gave credit to those who had contributed, who had similar ideas. He gave them credit. But really, Darwin was the one who came up with the origin of species, evolution through natural selection, and he buttoned it down pretty well. And he guessed about a lot of things. And he guessed about some things that were wrong, but he guessed a lot about a lot of things like genes, which he had no clue what those were. He guessed about those, and he was right. What Darwin did, what he wrote, has been expounded upon and has been shown to be correct. It has been, it's been a foundational idea. It's not like, evolution was this magic thing that he pulled out of his ass. Evolution had been around for a very long time, and a lot of people had a lot of interesting ideas about evolution. But they all had the idea of evolution. Evolution through a natural process. They just didn't know what that process was, and they didn't understand the mechanics. And Darwin was the first one who really buttoned down the ideas of what the process was and buttoned down the idea of what the mechanics were. And he got it correct. He didn't get down everything correct, because who ever gets down everything correct? He got it down mostly correct. And what he did find has been just built upon for over 150 years. So over 150 years, they're still building on his idea. They are not coming up with new ideas. They're not coming up with evolution through unnatural selection. They're coming up with ideas that support what he initially came up with. So all these people who get all fucking pissed off and evolution is just wrong and it's been proven wrong and scientists prove that it's wrong, they're lying. That's not true. Sure, come up with a better idea than evolution. Come up with something other than evolution through natural selection. Go ahead. Go ahead and try. People have been trying for 2,000 years plus. It's been 150 years since a good idea came up and has been proven over and over to be the most, fundamentally correct idea out there. Your only other choice is creation, which is magic, which is bullshit. Intelligent design is fucking stupid. I'm gonna say it. It's fucking idiotic. It makes people fucking stupid. I'm sorry to use expletives, but it angers me. Intelligent design is just stupid. It's been shown to be just wrong on every possible way. But it's like intelligent design is correct and evolution is wrong. Like it's stupid. And that's why atheists seem arrogant and Christians seem like idiots, because they're pushing ideas that are wrong. There are lots of Christians who accept evolution, who understand that it's a fundamental of the biological sciences that have advanced us to where we are now. So when you hear Christians are fucking stupid, it's not necessarily aimed at you. It might be aimed at you. I don't know who you are. There's certainly a lot of people I've spoken to online that it's aimed at you, but not all of you. I've talked to a lot of intelligent, thoughtful, kind of secular Christians. I know lots of intelligent Christians. Of course, most of the really intelligent Christians I know of are now atheists. But, that's besides the point. I'm not saying that atheists are smarter than everyone else. It's just that they tend to be smarter than, especially the ones that start off with Christians. Atheism is not all these crazy things about science and evolution and whatever. Atheism is a rejection of the claim that there is a God. That's it. That's all there is. If you say there's God, I say, I don't buy that claim. What do you got to show it? Nothing? I didn't think so. I'm an atheist. That's it. That's all that makes me an atheist. Nothing else. I have people nonstop telling me that you're not really an atheist. You may think you're an atheist, but you're not really an atheist. You're an agnostic. Like, no, I'm not agnostic. How can you be sure? I'm like, okay, I cannot be 100% certain, but I can be certain enough. Now, I don't know if it's Plato or Socrates who said, the only thing that I am certain of is that I am certain of nothing. But expounding on that, I am certain enough about things like God and evolution. Evolution, which I've been reading about for almost 40 years. So it's not like I'm pulling this out of my ass. I mean, there's a lot of evidence backing it up. And there's nothing backing up intelligent design. Nothing. And just saying evolution, saying that intelligent design is real, it does not make it real. Especially when you can point, this scientist right here says intelligent design is correct. Yes, for every scientist that you can point to, there are 1,000 scientists named Steve who can say it's bullshit. That's the ratio. And you'll also notice that those scientists who say intelligent design is the correct method of whatever, it's funny how they're all like ministers and work for Answers in Genesis and have ties to some sort of intelligent design foundation or creation foundation. Coincidence? I think not. But the reason you can point to these scientists is because there's so few of them. And they make a living out of convincing people like you that intelligent design is true. And it's not. You're buying bullshit. And they're very good at selling bullshit. You don't hear too much about scientists, about evolution, because there are freaking thousands of them. And they're working hard. They're trying to answer questions. They're not trying to sell the idea of bullshit to you and make a living out of it. These people that you pull out for intelligent design, 99% of their time is spent promoting intelligent design. They don't really do any science. So anyhow, that's my big deal about saying Christians are idiots. They're not all idiots. They're just, some of them are idiots, and some atheists are arrogant. I used to think that Richard Dawkins was an arrogant asshole, and I have changed my mind only because I now understand where he's coming from, and I understand that he is fed up with people who are telling him stupid stuff and having to correct them and have them say, no, that's not true, that's against God. It's like, well, God is made up. I mean, if you can't say this is proof of, you can't say, I look outside, it's sunny outside, and there's trees, that's proof of God. That's not proof of God. That's nothing. That's pretty outside and nice trees. It's not proof of God. Proof of God is not saying proof of God. That when you get a tree that says made by God, that's proof of God. You can point to that, but you can't say, oh, there's trees outside. And I'm sorry if I'm being objectionable by using a Southern accent but I know it's other Southern Baptists who just, the Bible Belt, it's not a positive term, the Bible Belt. It's derogatory. It's saying it's a bunch of fucking idiots. That's what the Bible Belt is. When the world says the Bible Belt, they're saying that's the strip of idiots in the U.S. because the U.S. is full of idiots, and they call them the Bible Belt. I'm sorry if that's offensive, but it's true. It's true. People are taught not to think. Where are the poorest, most uneducated people? They're in the Bible Belt. I'm sorry, but it's true. Anyways, I am Tom, your friendly neighborhood atheist, and I am friendly. I may not seem friendly right now, but I am generally very friendly. And I want the world to be a better place, and that's why I'm trying to communicate the fact that religion really is not helping make the world a better place. It really, truly is not. It is making people dumb. It really is. Pushing intelligent design is making people stupid. The United States has gotten dumber every year. We are falling down the chart of scientific and mathematic literacy because their churches say science is bad, science is evil. What kind of madman thinks science is bad? Every advantage you have in life is thanks to science. Science is basically trying to solve problems. That's what science is. The scientific method is trying to solve problems and having other people come behind you to try to undermine what you're doing and say that you're wrong or that you're right. Because that's why the scientific method works. Because if you have an idea, good or bad, there's somebody right behind you who's wanting to make a name for themselves in proving that you're wrong. So you have to make sure your science is good. Because if your science isn't good, somebody's coming right behind you to prove that you're an idiot. And nobody wants that. They don't want somebody saying, oh, look at this bullshit this guy's trying to pull. And that's what they're doing to intelligent design, but you people are still buying that bullshit. Because intelligent design goes with God. Yeah. If your worldview is focused not on reality and possibly fitting God to that reality, if you want to believe in God, believe in God. I don't have a problem with that. But if you're looking at reality, like, oh, this is reality, and God, how does God fit into that reality? I don't have a problem with that. But when you take reality and think, well, how am I going to squirt and punch and screech? How am I going to make that reality fit what I think God is? That's fucked up. It's idiotic. To try to change reality to fit your idea of God, your idea that was handed to you by somebody else, who had it handed to them and handed to them and handed to them and handed to them generations over generations. The idea of God is it's an idea that people came up with. So trying to fit reality to fit this idea of God, that is fucking insane. That is just stupid. It's very frustrating to talk to people who say that goes against what God is. What? Well, tell God to get his fucking ass down here and explain himself or herself. That's the other thing. Why is God a him? Why is God always referred to him? Patriarchal society. Man created God, therefore God is a man. Why don't women get this? Why do women like your idea of God is bullshit? Black people. Hello, black people. Why the fuck do you believe in God? God believes in slavery. You guys hate slavery. So do the Jews. Jewish people. You fucking hate slavery. Why do you believe that there's a God? At least you don't, buy this whole thing with Jesus. And Jesus is just a story. I'm sorry, Jesus is just a story. Any story that's missing 20 years from childhood, and if you read the childhood stories, the childhood Jesus is like the freaking Omen. He's like that kid he's like Bill Mummy when he was on Twilight Zone, where he was like paranormal, Jesus was a psycho kid. If you find the stories about him, he was scary. But then he disappears, and then he reappears in all these bullshit stories. And water into wine, walking on water, it's all bullshit. So, anyhow, again, I'm Tom, your friendly neighborhood atheist, and my little tirade is over now, and I feel a little bit better. But really, Christians aren't idiots. Some are, and some atheists are arrogant assholes. But I'm not. I'm Tom, your friendly neighborhood atheist. I'm a nice guy. Aren't I?